Do not steal. This command is frequently encountered not only in the Old Testament, but also in the New Testament. Everyone should forsake stealing, but we, who were created as a new man in true righteousness and true holiness according to God's image, must especially do so. Many people may think, the commandment not to steal has nothing to do with me. However, stealing is not limited to taking physical items. It also includes unjustly obtaining others' possessions, unfairly benefiting from them, or wrongfully claiming the rewards of someone else's efforts. In reality, stealing has flooded the world. There is something even more serious than stealing. This is stealing against the church. While mistakes are inevitable in life, we should never even consider stealing against the church. Such behavior is like crucifying the Son of God again, who died on the cross for us, and putting him to open shame. The church is Christ's body, which he built by taking on our old man's sin and dying on the cross. If our old man reappears and harms his body, how can we expect another opportunity for repentance? In the Ephesian church, there were many Gentile believers, in addition to the Jews who had been trained in the law. As a result, the habit of stealing, which they had developed while living in the world, was also manifesting within the church. Thus, Paul said, "Let him who stole steal no longer, but rather let him labor, working with his hands what is good, that he may have something to give him who has a need." Paul emphasized that not only must stealing be discarded, but now, even when tired and exhausted, they should work hard with their hands and devise good. In other words, to provide support with material for the work of God's kingdom. When God led the Israelites out of Egypt, he commanded them that once they entered the land of Canaan, they should not harden their hearts toward any poor brothers among them, but should extend charity to them. This command was in accordance with God's covenant with Abraham to make his descendants God's people and through them fulfill his will to bless all nations. The Israelites followed this command for many years by gathering collections for the saints, and this practice continued not only during Jesus' ministry on earth, but also after his ascension in the early church to support the success of the gospel ministry. Today it still persists in the form of offerings adapted to meet the needs of the church. Stealing that brings harm to the church must be abandoned. Now we should all join in the work of supporting the church through our labor. When all saints unite in this effort, Christ's body will be built up in a healthy way. Our offerings to God are a form of faith confession, a promise of eternal fellowship with Him. Life inevitably demands our labor. Let our labor not be merely dedicated to the short time we have on earth, but rather offered for the Lord's kingdom and His work. Let this one and only opportunity to labor in order to serve the Lord be cherished and fully used.